Hello, Cities Skylines fans. I'm Sockswayup, and welcome back to another episode of Newman Shore. Today, we're going to introduce Traffic Manager mod. As you can see, traffic is a mess. We did some growing in the last episode, and we're paying for it at this point. Also, some of the custom assets that we have are causing a little bit of the problem, but let's jump right in. First off, I want to say this isn't a tutorial of how to use Traffic Manager mod, just showing you how I use it in particularly. So first, we're gonna widen this road a little bit, give us an extra lane to play with as we adjust some of the lanes. Then we're gonna start making sure that each lane has a dedicated path that it's going. So it'll be a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn or a straight road. One of the things with Cities Skylines is if you don't do it this way, cars will back up behind each other. They'll want to go straight, even though that lane should be dedicated to turning left. So that's a lot of what we're gonna do here first. We're gonna go around to a lot of these intersections, a lot of the freeway on and off ramps. We're gonna get everything set up the correct way. You can see here, we got this straight and right hand turn. We don't really want that. So we're gonna use this setting or this option in Traffic Manager mod to try to get things fixed first. There'll be some areas like this one where we're gonna actually dictate with this little tool here and draw where the cars can go. One of the other things that we can do is we can back up or go forward a little bit here as we're gonna do and make all those cars, or not allow the cars to change lanes. As long as there's a node where they can change lanes in between where they get on the highway and where they get to their exit, we should be good there. But there's some areas where we don't want them to change lanes. We want them to pick before they get to the exit so that we don't have a ton of vehicles just switching lanes right at the end, right by the exit, and causing a huge traffic jam as we are right now. A lot of the times that's how you see traffic problems in Cities Skylines vanilla or, unmodded versions of Cities Skylines. So again, we're just gonna go through a bunch of these, rinse and repeat. But before we get close to hitting play, we'll show you we are at 28% traffic flow. My goal, if you've been around this channel for a while, is not perfect traffic. My goal is realistic traffic. So after fixing this couple spots, we hit play. We're gonna see if it makes a difference. We got gridlock. We're gonna have to do some things here to free it up. We're gonna have to go around and figure out exactly where the gridlock is starting from or where the biggest problems are, try to free up the traffic there, slowly get things going. It might take a while. I'm not really the best at this process in Cities Skylines, but I really enjoy fixing traffic. I almost cut this part out of the video, but I decided to show it anyways. We are going to have a dead lane here. You can see this section right there. It's going to be dead. I don't want to lower the lane count. I don't want to switch it to 2 lanes for visual purposes. A lot of the times you'll hear about lane mathematics, and this is a way to do it without having to change the look of your highways. Sometimes when you make it a 2-lane into a 3-lane into a 2-lane and back and forth, it just doesn't look that great, in my opinion at least. And so we're still limited on the mods that we're using. We don't have node adjustment. We can't adjust the nodes. We can't, really dictate or manipulate the way the roads look right now because we're not using Move It or anything. And so this is one thing that I want to do. I want to leave the 3 lanes all the way through this section and use Traffic Manager mod to make some of those areas dead to where no one's ever using them because they would just cause traffic issues. This next area that we're going to focus on, I noticed there's a lot of pedestrian traffic that was crossing the highway, and that's really causing an issue at this point because cars are not only having to wait for each other, but they're also having to wait for people to cross the road. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a walking path here over the highway, kind of like we did on the other side of the city. And then after we have that in place, we're going to limit which intersections they can cross. So the pedestrians will have certain ones that they can cross to get to this walking bridge or elevated bridge that goes across the highway. And then they'll have ones that they can't. And so that's the plan here. That should eliminate the pedestrians in this area from adding to the traffic problems. It's not always the cars, like I said. Sometimes it's the pedestrians. Sometimes it's too big of assets. Like these big trucks are really struggling to get around this city, and they just really add more than just one vehicle of traffic. And that's a custom asset that I'm using because I think it looks awesome in screenshots and just in gameplay. It looks more realistic. That's why I use them. As you see, I'm kind of struggling with this overpass here, or this walking path, but we eventually get it somewhat nice. We're gonna probably add in, move it pretty soon so that we can do some of this stuff a little bit better, but yeah, I'm still wanting to stay a little bit basic on this. But you can see here, now we're going into the junction tool. We're going to eliminate the ability for pedestrians to cross the road here, and just by clicking on those, crossing them out, that will set that up correctly for us. Sometimes in this game, it's these small areas and little changes that help out a ton. Here, what we're gonna do is we're going to get rid of the traffic light, and we're gonna add yield signs to the non-main road and backed out there so it's not as loud with the traffic. That's gonna help free up some traffic and allow the cars to flow, as well as adding in, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I think it's the flow button, where you click on an intersection here, is what we're gonna do, and you turn on this little button here. That'll allow traffic to hog up that intersection and keep going no matter what. And that helps the flow of the traffic a ton in Cities Skylines. We're gonna do that in a few areas here just to keep the traffic from flowing in case it gets bad here. And then we do want that one to have the pedestrians crossing past, because that's how they're gonna get there. But you can see we're starting to see vehicles move. It could be a matter of time before the gridlock is completely gone. I don't think so yet. I think there's still some more work that we have to get going and get doing. So at this point, I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna come back to you in a little bit and show you our progress. At this point, I'm starting to look at specific areas that could really improve, and this is one that I definitely think should be one way. It's a downtown area. You see a lot of one-way roads in downtown areas. So we're gonna do a loop here. It's gonna take a little bit to just upgrade the roads and get those in line with the way we want it. So you can see this loop's gonna go right to there, and then it's gonna go across this main road and continue the one-way loop. So that may or may not fix some of the issues over here. I think it will, because it'll drive traffic one direction. When they're coming off of this intersection here, they can go to the right and go loop around if they want, but then they're coming out on the left side as an exit only. I think that'll help a little bit. Definitely we'll see in a few minutes after we let the game simulate a little bit. But you can see traffic is, I let the game play for a while, and then I saw that area that I wanted to update, so I wanted to show that on the video as well. But you can see it is starting to move. We're starting to see some improvement, but there's a ton of traffic that we've got to fix, and there's other areas, not just this one. At this point, we're starting to focus on the farm area. There's a lot of traffic in this area as well. Again, there's traffic everywhere at this point. We grew rapid, we grew fast. We didn't plan our roads as well as we could have, and I'm using Traffic Manager mod to fix that. So here we're just gonna fix the electricity here, and this exit here, we're just gonna see if it works. We're gonna see if this helps for a bit. We'll come back, we'll make it look a little bit better later if we decide that an actual off-ramp, on-ramp is actually a full transition of a highway is actually needed right here. So we're gonna get that going, and we're gonna fix this up. That doesn't really help, but maybe if we delete this road this way and extend it, it might look a little bit better. These are the things I've never learned with Vanilla Cities Skylines. I've used mods and they help me out. Move it. I'm getting that move it itch. Yeah, another little update here. We seem to have lost a lot of the city due to this traffic, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. I'm finding just some small areas that I've missed with these lane changes that I wanted to do, and look how much that freed up the traffic instantly. Yep, we're gonna keep looking for spots like that we missed, and I have a feeling we're gonna see traffic improve because of everyone leaving the city, and then we'll build the population back up, and then we might have traffic issues again. That's what I think is gonna happen. But we're gonna get these all cleaned up and let the game simulate for a little bit and see if it's taken care of yet. Well, so like we thought, traffic's clearing up, and it seems to be, I don't really believe it. There's no demand right now. The city's struggling. It's starting to recover. I have a weird feeling. Yeah, this area is still, we got to work a lot on the farm area. You can see back here is still struggling. Downtown's okay, but we got to work on this farm area a little bit more. That seems to be the biggest problem right now. Yep, there's some more that we missed. We did not do a good job of getting all those. So we'll get more of them. We're gonna focus on this farm area a little bit. Just, I don't really want to show everything myself do the same thing 100 times. So, we'll give you an update here in a minute. Okay, I went a little overboard with the pause button on the recording. You can see we're up to 82. We're up to 80%, 82%. There's some areas that are still showing red that just, I don't understand why. The traffic's flowing cleanly and it still shows red. That's why I'm not a huge fan of having to get 100% traffic. I don't really care about that. I like it looking realistic. You can see here we added cargo terminals. I'm gonna clean up these traffic or the trains tracks to make them look a little bit better long term. I wanted to put them in there to see if they were helping. There's about 4 of them that we put throughout the city just to kind of help. Yeah, that's hideous. We'll improve that. But I wanted to see if that would help, and it seems to help a ton. So we have some vehicles that are just going to the cargo hubs and sending out their goods instead of going, you know, through the highways, and we don't have to have vehicles actually leave the city. They can just go where they're picking up goods, drop it off at the train terminal, go back to where they came from, rinse and repeat. We added this electricity. We're gonna get rid of that now too. So traffic's flowing a little bit better. Our population's still not up to where it was. This area needs some love. We did decide to upgrade the roads in the farm area. I kind of like the way it looks. I think it turned out good. It looks good enough for me. Oh, there's one we missed. Yeah, we'll get that later. But one of the things that I do want to do is let the game run until we're back up to the statistics or the population that we were. You can see we peaked up at, you know, 12,700. We're at, you know, 10,600 now. Don't really think we're having a death wave. I think that's a little bit to do with the traffic and the hearses not being able to get to the building. So we're going to let the game simulate for a while. We're going to get rid of some of these unnecessary things while I do that, and I'll let you know if the traffic stays good when we get back up to close to 13,000 population. We did it. We're almost at 13,000. We're at 12,700. So we're at the most people that we've had in the city to date. And the traffic is flowing beautifully. It's not 100%, but it is perfect for me. Realistic traffic. There's cars moving around the city. There are some people stopping at traffic lights. There's some people that have to wait a little bit. They're not just constantly flowing. I feel like it looks pretty realistic in my opinion. We did it. So I hope you got some tips out of this. I hope you can see the value of adding these type of mods. This is definitely an essential one that if you don't have a super power computer, kind of like I do, this is definitely one that I would try to get to work on your computer, and we'll be showing some more of these off in this series as well. That's kind of how I thought about this series. And if I'm being honest, I kind of intentionally had bad traffic so that we could do this episode, and it turned out good. So we'll have to keep up with that throughout the rest of the series. But I think we have a good start now that we have Traffic Manager mod and we're able to manipulate the lanes and which direction cars can go. Helps a lot. That's one of the things that's really lacking in vanilla Cities Skylines. So unfortunately, there are things like that we do say as Cities Skylines players. So I don't know. But you can see population well up to where we wanted it to be. I think we're good. We can call this episode a success, in my opinion. Traffic's at, 83%, which, I can care less if it's up to 90. I just don't want cars stuck on the highways. I don't want them stuck at exit ramps. We've got it back where we like it. Newman Shore's looking good. There's a lot of expanding I want to do. That's going to come up here in the next few episodes. I want to thank you for hanging out this long. If you've had and you're still here, 13 minutes in, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, we hit the 1,000 sub mark. Amazing. I'm at a loss for words. I'm still shocked that it actually happened. We did it. We're there. Let's see what we can get to next. I want to thank everyone that's subbed. Yeah, Sockswayup out. I'll catch you on the next episode of Newman Shore.